Okay, and let me share my screen. All right, Dana, don't get mad at my presentation. All right, everyone. All right, good evening. Can everyone see my screen just to make sure? All right, and let's see. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michelle Gomez. I am the founder and the president of the African American Marketing Association. Today is Monday, November 10th. This is our first virtual information session in a while, so thank you for joining us. Today, I will be sharing information about the history of AMA, an overview of the organization, our programs, the collectives, aka our committee and volunteer roles, our upcoming events, and just general information. This is also a time for you to ask questions about AMA, anything AMA, what we're doing, what you would like to see. We definitely want to keep this as a open dialogue. So feel free to write your questions down. I will have a session at the end for Q&A. So also want to state that Dana Hewling, she is the VP and Creative Director of ALMA, so she's on the call. She's also the owner of her own agency, BID, a very, very talented creative designer in the Houston area, so definitely a great resource. So thank you for joining this call as well. All right. So, you've probably been following us on social media for a while. Probably saw the volunteer interest form, which brought you here today. Thank you. And you're seeing and hearing this name, African American Marketing Association, AAMA. Who are we, right? Who are we? What do we do? We're going to share all of that today. So, the African American Marketing Association, aka AMA for short, we are a membership-based organization. Our mission statement is to educate, empower, and elevate Black marketers, creatives, and entrepreneurs. We started in February 2019 with the vision to create a thriving ecosystem where Black marketers, creatives, and entrepreneurs have equitable access to education, opportunities, and representation across the workforce and economic development. Our tagline is creating a collaborative community. We are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit association. So if you have a membership, donations, sponsorships, all of that stuff can be a tax write-off at the end of the year. And once again, our nickname is AMA, coined by Dana, who also did our logo, our beautiful logo. So yeah. So how did AMA come about? It was many, many years ago. I'm based in Houston, Texas. I was at a holiday party. Um, in 2013, forgot what they called it, but around that time, they had about 10 to 20 Black professional organizations. At that time, I was a member of the Houston Area Urban League Young Professionals. Eventually, I was the marketing and PR co-chair. And then I was also a member of the National Black MBA Association, and I eventually was the corresponding secretary. Um, so you had those two organizations, you had teachers, you had NABA, the Black Accountants, you had NSBE, the Black Engineers, NSN, National Sales Network. You had all of these Black organizations. We would get together twice a year, either January for the Leadership Forum and then December for the holiday party. So I was at the holiday party having a good time, probably doing the stanky leg, whatever was out at that time. And I left that night Well, during the night, they have all of the organizations, the presidents stand, state their name and the organization. And I left that night and I realized there is not a Black marketing organization. So I went home, I Googled Black marketers, African American marketers, associations, um, however you can rearrange the words, I Googled that and nothing came up. But I specifically remember at that time, there's no way I can do this work. I was too green. I had just got my master's. I had just left corporate America. I was going full time into my marketing company, Line 25 Consulting at the time. There was no way I could do both of these things at the same time. So throughout the years, um, every now and then, like I would continue to Google the name Black Marketers, African American Marketing Association, nothing would come up. And if you're a marketer, you know the importance of creating an MVP model. So I was trying to like create Facebook groups when I was popular at the time, but nothing would really stick. And I'm thinking this is a great idea, but it's not working. But I also knew that I wasn't 100% in at the time, but I was steady trying to validate my idea. And then in 2018, there was just a series of bad advertising. And I was like, who's in the room? So if you remember, you had the black boy who, an H&M commercial had the black boy, he had the green hoodie with the monkey on it. You had a commercial with Dove where it started with what I would say a brown skinned black lady, but every time she took her shirt off, the woman in the shirt got lighter. And then it was like, Dove body wash. Um, you had Snapchat. They had this game where Chris Brown and Rihanna were like fighting, or it was just like a lot of bad advertising going on. And I was like, how is this getting passed? Like, who's approving these decisions? Like, where are the Black marketers? Like, that was the question. Where are the Black marketers? Because we out here, but are we at the table? Are we in these
Exactly.
rooms?
I mean, they weren't in the boardroom. Yeah, they weren't
Like,
making the
like
executive decisions.
Like how and then like it's not sometimes it's not even about the race, right? It's just pop culture. Like how are these messages getting approved? And I really started the association with that one question, where are the Black marketers? Right. So that fall of 2018, I started planning just the overall concept. My initial idea was to be the American Marketing Association meets the Black MBA, right? Hence the African American Marketing Association. And we launched February 2019. I'm here in Houston, Texas. We had a nice kickoff party at Sambuca. Um, that April, we got our 501(c)(3) determination letter, which is great timing, right? Off to a good start. I think we did 7 or 9 events that year, a mix of um, general happy hour networking as well as professional development. We had a great year, exceeded expectations. And then COVID hit. So when memberships are supposed to renew, the world's coming to an end. And I was like, there's no way I can ask for people to, renew their membership. And I have no idea literally, I have no idea what tomorrow is. So between 2020 to 23, membership was free. And then we renew membership, and I'll kind of get into those details. So that's why I say 2025, we're still here. We have enhanced in our programming and our development, and I'm going to get into that. So I do want to say, like, we're kind of going through a brand refresh, more so on the messaging. So just bear with us, but I'm really happy with how we're improving. So once again, we are a membership-based organization. We have about 50, we have currently have 52 members, paid members, And our membership is literally split in the middle of what I consider marketing professionals and creative entrepreneurs. So, who are the creative entrepreneurs? Those are the solopreneurs, the agency owners, the consultants, small business owners in general, meaning, excuse me, they're a small business owner outside of marketing. So, the creative entrepreneurs. So we do have monthly membership as well as annual dues, whether it's $12.50 a month or $149 a year, which is on par to other organizations. Recently, we started our nonprofit membership, which is $99 a year that will be vetted. And then we also added our small business membership, which can be monthly or annual. And so our nonprofit and our small business membership is brand new, and we're gonna start promoting that full swing next year during our membership campaign. All right. So Alma is 6 years old. We would not survive. We would not exist without our partners. Once again, shout out to Dana, BID. She started our logo, our very, very first partner. Beautiful logo, beautiful design work. Dragonfly Editorial, I guess in this case, our second longest partner. They've been rocking with us for, I want to say 4 out of the 6 years. HP, Tombras, Comerica Bank, George CPA, 126 Photography, Twice Media Productions, LR Training. I can go AT&T, I can go on and on and on, right? What I love about this, when you look at our partners, it doesn't matter the size of the company or the size of the dollar amount, right? We got something for everyone. So small business, creative agencies, as well as corporations. So our programs in 2021, we changed the name, but we have the 50 Black marketers to watch, aka the Black Marketers List. So every year we highlight at least 50 Black marketers. Over the years, we have expanded the category. So from strategists, creatives, I think this year we added technology or tech experts. We have community champions. So we have different categories. We've even had people outside of the US on that list because, Black excellence is crushing it all over, right? 2021, we started Marketing for the Culture podcast. At that time, I was like, keep in mind, George Floyd passed away. So I'm like, man, what can we do to be different? I've been podcasting. I had my personal podcast. I said, now Alma could do a podcast. So we launched that, doing good work. Took the podcast, created the Marketing for the Culture Summit. So it's our annual event where we have about 100 Black marketers come together. We talk the latest marketing strategies, best practices in the industry. The first year was in Atlanta. The past 3 years it's been in Houston. We also have the Grow with Google certification. There are 6 certifications you can get from digital marketing, e-commerce, UX, cybersecurity, project management, and I'm forgetting something. It's completely free, and that's through Coursera. So if you're a member, you can fill out the form. I'll send you the link. It's a self-paced course that you can take. The Business of Marketing Bootcamp. I'm very, very proud of this program. It's led by Dana. This is a 12-week no-cost business program for small business owners to take to get the marketing foundations they need to grow their business. And then we have community and culture. Community and culture, that's our kickback, right? So the first Saturday of the month, we'll do a in-person coffee chat. We also have happy hours. And then next year, we want to start doing the virtual coffee chats as well. So in short, of course, we have the monthly professional development, but this is pretty much our signature programs and projects that we're known for. And these are some pictures from the summit. Here in the middle, Adrienne, last year she won a HP laptop from our sponsor, HP. This is a picture of our 50 Black marketers to watch. We have BOM alumni and our member here, if you can see it. And then the podcast. Okay. All right, so you're probably here because you saw, before I get into this, does anyone have any questions before I get into the volunteer part? Okay. All right, so you're probably here because you saw the volunteer form. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So has anyone served on a board before? Yes. All right.
I haven't served
So
on the board since I was in undergrad, and if that's not even a board, that's so
it's a start. You know, it's a start. We like church. All are welcome. All are welcome. Okay. So, with the nonprofit board, you have the executive team, which is the president, VP, secretary, and treasurer. So you got me. I've been doing this for, I guess, technically 6, 7 years now. We have Dana, who's been the VP for this past year and a half. And then we have the open role as the secretary and the treasurer. So for the secretary, it's maintaining records, our board meetings, and other important documentation and key decisions. And then the treasurer slash financial secretary overseeing almost financial management, budget, and making sure that we're being accountable to the board, to our members on how we're using our funds. All right. So recently, I'm very proud of the volunteer form that I created. Just trying to streamline a lot of our processes. So I'm calling the collectives as what every team has is pretty much the committee, right? So the collective is a volunteer-led team within AMA that focuses on a special area of impact. Now we know when it comes to marketing, it is a lot. Now I'm biased. I think everything is marketing because you got a website, you're writing, social, like everything is marketing. But I try to break down these collectives to how it can best serve our current membership as well as future growth. Now, every collective is going to be led by a director, and then that director will be part of the board as they lead their specific team. They'll have either leads, coordinators, and just general volunteers to help them work together on whatever the project, program, or plan is, right? Whatever the AMA initiative is. So the Builders Collective, that's new. That's going to be focused on our small businesses and agency owners. The Connection Collective, that's our membership, focused on engagement and retention. The Elevate Collective, that's our professional development and overall education. Marcoms, marketing communications, of course, media, social media. Our Partnership Collective focuses on sponsorships and collaborations. We get a lot of requests, so just having a team to review and vet those. And then the Tech Collective focus on AI, technology, CRM, systems management, just general tech tools. We get requests for that as well, but we can't use everything. All right, so the Builders Collective. I love small business. I geek out on small business. So I think one thing that is really important, and I think this is let me say this. What makes us different, especially with the way things have evolved with Facebook groups and maybe even LinkedIn groups, if we go far back, like there's a bunch of communities, there's a bunch of creative groups, there's a bunch of masterminds, right? And everyone's charging whatever their fee is for whatever, right? And I'm not knocking that. But we are a professional association. And because of that, we have to focus on workforce and economic development. So we have to focus on the community. And part of that is really small business advocacy, right? So making sure that we are getting in front of politicians, elected officials, on whatever the needs are when it comes to small businesses. And I know a lot of creative groups, they're not focused on that, and we are. So the Director of Small Business Engagement, They will lead the Builders Collective. So this would be all of our small business members, managing the strategy, understanding what do our small business members need from us, making sure we're providing the right programming. Um, and it's one of those things where we know marketing, but if we need to bring in expertise from like HR, CPA, team building, like different type of experts to come in, so you're able to feel confident as a leader, as you build your business, as you build your agency. We want to provide that kind of education and those resources to the Builders Collective. Yeah. The Connection Collective, once again, that's about membership. Membership and programs, it goes hand in hand, right? If we have strong, consistent programming, we're going to garner interest. People are going to become members, and we got to serve those people. So once again, making sure that our education is on point, making sure we're in touch with them, be it surveys, focus groups, phone calls, emails. How can we make sure we are meeting the needs of our members and that they feel seen while they are with AMA, right? Other things that we'll need from membership. I go to a lot of events. So if they're within Houston, if they can attend some of these events. Um, as far as exhibitor booths, I would like us to do pop-ups, but pop-ups in different cities, that's going to be made based off of our membership database. So having someone pretty much track, understand the data of our member. Currently, we're using Joinit, but we're going to switch over to a directory and trying to keep everything in-house as the AMA website will be the hub. The Elevate Collective, once again, this is focused on our professional development. I really would like two people to be director of programs for our in-person and our virtual. So the breakdown with Elevate Collective when it comes to our professional development, we have Elevate workshops. Those will be our hand-on sessions. Elevate Talks, expert panels, and the Elevate Tracks will highlight career paths. We do have a good number of college students that are members, so they have a lot of interest when it comes to wanting that exposure of different career options, right? So we'll like two people, director of programs to help manage the in-person and virtual aspects of programs, and then having a team after that which can consist of the coordinator, researcher, speaker relations. Everyone wants to speak. There's experts everywhere, but having a system to manage the intake of speakers as well as when we're initiating that request. Registration, tech support for live stream or anything virtual, and then of course, photography and videography if it's in person. All right. Marcom's probably why there's the most work, but definitely need a solid team to help drive the storytelling, visibility, and brand presence of ARMA. When it comes to overall Marcoms, right? Dana enjoys leading as the creative director, but also allowing her to have that support when it comes to other aspects of marketing, from social media, email, advertising. We want to revamp the Marketing for the Culture podcast. We had it running for 2 years and then it's been on hiatus for 2 years. So we want to bring that back next year. Content writer, we have a blog. This could be simple as writing one blog article a month. A community manager. When we started, we had a Facebook group. We've been talking about should we have a group on a digital platform, but we definitely need someone to manage that. Publicists, helping get exposure out there, also vetting requests, and social media, storytelling. Always need videographer or editors. And then, of course, website maintenance. All right. And the Partnership Collective, strategic partnership team to help expand our network of allies, collaborators, and sponsors. Definitely would like one or two people to vet this. We get a lot of requests when it comes to promoting different conferences across the nation. Um, Even other organizations that want to work with us on different events. Of course, corporate sponsors, ERG groups would be a huge plus. Um, Anytime there's other events that are coming into town, such as Afrotech or DreamCon that was here this summer, like what can we do to um, just not filling out the form, that's the easy part, but finding ways to really nurture the relationship with some of these organizations in and out of the city of Houston, and also leveraging opportunities in different cities based off of our membership data. All right. And then the Tech Collective, I think now more than ever, understanding and enhancing the digital infrastructure, technology tools, and data systems is very, very important. A lot of our funding goes to operations to maintain these systems. So having someone spearhead that, creating we were talking about this in our board meeting recently, creating and following those SOPs as a internal team and maybe even external, depending on the request, when it comes to web maintenance, database management, automation. I get people pitching tools to me all the time, and there's so many companies that do the same thing. Like, what does that look like? And having that expert from the Tech Collective and maybe even the Partnership Collective working together to figure out what makes sense for ARMA. So that's a very quick review of the volunteer opportunities for the organization. So as of right now, the form has been up for a while, so plan on closing that on Friday, November 21st. Wanted to give some leeway because I do know some people want to catch this recording. I've been having conversations with people as well, conversations slash interviews. So I will keep my schedule open until Wednesday, December 17th. For those people that do have questions about certain roles or they would like to have an interview, especially if they want to be a director of a collective. And then I will gather that, go through it with the team, and then we will notify everyone by Friday, January 9th, 2026. Clearly, I'm trying to respect the holiday break. Hence the timeline. All right, so if you got your questions, get them ready. I'm almost done here. So Alma, we do have some events coming up. On Wednesday, we have 12 months of video marketing with Tiffany Williams. This is a virtual event. On Saturday, November 22nd, we have Headshots and Mimosas in partnership with Creative Works. So that's going to be a panel, mimosas, and headshots for those of you that are in Houston. And then on Saturday, December 6th, we're doing part 2 of our video series, Capture the Moment, with Chris Martin of 126 Photography. Well, he will show you how to either maximize your smartphone or your camera when it comes to capturing content. Okay. All of our events, excuse me, all of our events are on our website at aa-ma.org/events. I will drop the link in the chat. Also, if you're a small business owner, we are currently doing or promoting a survey led by the Federal Reserve. Well, clearly they're trying to collect data on how small businesses feel about their business in the past 12 months. And this is just a sample of what I mean when it comes to small business advocacy. I think lots of times as Black entrepreneurs, we don't know about these things, right? Like we hear about this stuff on the news and it's like, what survey? I never get access to this information. I got things to say. this is your time to say it, right? I know surveys are not always fun, but it's from the Federal Reserve, it's legit, it's important. So if you're a small business owner, I encourage you to do that. And then in general, what we have planned for next year, I don't want to get into too much detail, but we're going to do a membership campaign. Definitely have a goal to increase membership to 250 people. Once again, small business advocacy. Um, we've been making some changes now. So if you look at those events, we have member versus non-member pricing and just being more exclusive when it comes to our members and having that benefit of private events, discounted events, accountability groups, and some other things that we're planning. These are the links, so I will drop this in the chat. But does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Go
So
ahead.
my question is just if you could share the difference between, and I might need to have it on the screen again, but there were volunteer opportunities for MarkCom, and then the collective that was after that. There's like a content strategist type of volunteer opportunity, and I just couldn't remember. And if someone could just detail like what the difference might be within those two, it's kind of where
Sure.
my interest lies. So.
So you're interested in doing the content strategist one?
Well, I'm really trying to see because I mean, a lot of stuff on the Marcom, which would be like, it looks like a lot of hands-on experience. I like that one, but I'm also interested in just like what the difference would be with like the content storytelling versus I can't remember if it's like one particular role with Marcom, but yeah. Yeah, if you could scroll up, that might be it.
Okay, so this is the actual volunteer form
Mm-hmm.
that I pulled up. Um, so the director will lead the team, right? Um, so we got the marketing lead, where you would oversee social media, email, ads. We don't run ad. We've been running ads more, so I don't want to say we run a lot of ads, but we've been running ads more. Let's see here. We have the content manager, content writer.
Yeah, I think it's the volunteer lead. Oh, oh, okay, volunteer lead and the storytelling strategist.
Right here.
Yeah, that might be it. So I guess the significance is this is like around membership-based things for the storytelling strategist, and Markcom is like overall marketing is the volunteer lead. Is that how that works?
Right. So I will say this. So on the form, I ask if you're a member or not, right? So ideally, we would like everyone that's serving to be a member, right?
Okay.
Um, so
Mhm.
that's one thing. So when it comes to the storytelling strategist, it could be, I don't have a particular idea in mind, but it can be anything, right? So it could be in members, it could be partners, creating those testimonials, like what are we trying to create? So earlier this year, we did do a brand video, and what I did was I emailed key members or some members and some of our partners, like, hey, we're doing this video, we're shooting here. Let me know if you're interested. And then they responded accordingly, right? Other times we've had people from BOM, like, hey, submit your video. Right. So BOM is kind of separate where although it's an ARMA program, some people are members, some people are not members. It just depends on the angle of the campaign we might, decide to create.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you for that.
Okay. Anyone else?
I guess the volunteer stuff is closing up pretty soon, but is there a way to just be a member for a while and just get to know the organization before joining a
Yeah,
board
of
or
course.
leading an event?
Yeah, of course. Membership is always open. So I dropped a link on there. So if you go to aa-ma.org/membership, um, membership is always open. So I just shared some of the events that we're doing in person as well as virtual. Obviously, we're approaching the holiday season. So after December 6th, we won't be doing anything until mid-January. Just a FYI.
Okay. And then another question, do you have to be based in the United States to be a member?
You don't have to be
Or
based in the
can-
US, but um, I mean, if you can, this has always been a trick question, right? Because we've had people that are not in the US. Um, we do have virtual stuff, right? But then it's kind of like catch me if you can type of stuff, because of the time zone, the time difference. But we're glad to share recordings. We do have some stuff on YouTube, but we're trying to really create a more exclusive environment next year, so members can feel appreciated. Are you going back home? Are you moving back home? What are you?
No, but I'm thinking of some other people, like some of the areas where you have needs, if they could be done remotely. I know people that
Yeah,
are, I think are good, but they're not based in the States. So
yeah. No, absolutely. We have a VA. She does our newsletter. I think she's in South Africa. So like absolutely, right. But yeah, membership's been tricky. I I always say I'm not in the business of taking people's money, but I do think with any membership or I mean any association, you have to see what works for you, right? So try it out for some time, try it out free or paid, and if you like it, move forward. If you don't, you don't. Like we've all been there at some point.
thanks for answering.
Yeah, I just want to add something to that. I thought Michelle answered very well. She brought up the big, elephant in the, is it the elephant in the room? But anyway, the big point is the time zone difference. So obviously, if they are willing to, participate at stuff, I know it'll probably be off times for them, but so if they're willing to put forth the effort to get from their membership, we are on our end, we are doing what we can to make sure that we have more virtual things. So I do think there will be things to get from it, but of course they also have to be willing to, participate. But otherwise, we'd love to have them. I love international people.
So, I'm curious, like, what would you like to see when it comes to membership organization? Rashonda, where are you based out of?
Right here in H-Town.
This is a whole Texas podcast.
Oh no, don't feel, do you feel othered? Okay, wait a minute now. Okay, we can't have that.
No,
Okay.
actually,
No,
I'm just saying.
everyone's in Houston on this call.
Yeah, in the same.
Yeah, I'm in Houston, so I'll just share a little bit about me. So first of all, I know Boma Cheatham West, really, really good friend of mine. Yes, 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 and colleague actually. So she's the sweetest, and I I saw I guess in 2022 it would have been you all had an event at the Gathering Spot. I used to live in Atlanta, and I was a member of the Gathering Spot. And so I felt like I had such a privilege and just keys to the kingdom based off of the type of programming that they had. You're literally talking to some of the people who have been the decision makers behind whatever it is, the brand that you love, the song that you love, the movie, all of these things. And so it was just great hearing just some stories of transparency and you did a great job, Michelle, just leading from like the idea to how you implemented,
Mhm.
the membership and everything like that. I love hearing the journey. I love hearing stories of the journey. And then I'm loving the other elements that you have with like the hands-on experience. So it's not just a social club, you get hands-on experience with a lot of things that AMA has to offer. And so for me, I'm kind of and also I would really appreciate in the interest intake form is there's even a small amount of time that you can dedicate to AMA. So I really appreciate that because I'm kind of interested to getting involved, and I was really kind of intimidated because I didn't know how much time I could really give. But something has happened recently to me that I'm kind of sparking back my love for marketing and wanting to get my LLC back and everything. I actually have like a pending potential client. And so I'm like, it would be great to jump on board because the last time I had my LLC, the last time I was helping small businesses, I had community like a gathering spot. And I'm like, I don't need to be doing anything without community. So that's really why I was interested in joining.
That's nice. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. I think kind of going back to what I said earlier, like, I mean, Alma started for a couple of different reasons. The big question is, where are the Black marketers? And then, I remember when I was in my job and I definitely had my friends. It was like, am I tripping? Like, am I the only one thinking like this? Or what did I do wrong? And I remember I had printed out my job. I was already in the job, but I printed out the job description and I sent it to a friend. And he was like, you're the only person there. Like, this is too much work, right? So then it gets into like, how do you create safe spaces to have these conversations? Like I know I'm doing my job right, but something feels wrong. Or what should I look for in another job? How do I negotiate my salary? What do I need to do to get this RFP to, grow this company? So it's like trying to talk about all of that, right? And it's hard because obviously marketing and technology is at the intersection of everything, but we need to learn, right? We need to learn from each other. We need to learn from others. And I think that's been like the gift and the curse of trying to serve this group because a lot of associations, it's like, well, everyone is corporate, right? Everyone has a job, and then you might have a small percentage that are business owners. And I'm like, no, we're literally split down the middle of marketers that are working for a brand or an agency. Obviously, sidepreneurs has evolved, and then, the full-time creative entrepreneurs. And it's challenging, but I really do want us to serve all of those audiences in some capacity. Any other questions or contributions?
I think I'll add something. So thank you both for joining us live, and to whoever is watching, the recording. I'm very, very well. First of all, it should be known that I adore Michelle. Like, I love Michelle. I love what she's done with Alma. She really, really, really gives her time, and like this is her passion. And so I'm so proud to support her, and I'm very proud of the board that we've had. We have a very nimble and tiny board, but we've accomplished a lot in the last year, and we have tons of ideas and things we want to accomplish. So we need additional support. Um, yeah, there's lots of work to be done. Whatever you can contribute, we appreciate it. We're really doing the work, and we're all here, for the greater purpose and it is that community. So we welcome those that, want to also further the greater mission. Get the experience that you can if you have an interest, we support that. But overall, it's about ALMA, it's about the community that we serve. And we have a national community. Again, I do love our team. And so I'm very proud of all of us. Most of us wear many, many hats. So the fact that Michelle is being very generous to be like, you can wear one hat. um, so I think that's cool. And we welcome those, really ready to help us run next year.
Yeah. Yeah, very well said. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, y'all letting me off the hook today. I appreciate that. Y'all are going easy on me. So, but if there's any way I could be of service, don't hesitate to reach out. If we haven't collected or connected on LinkedIn, please do so. Or you can shoot me an email. If you have any questions about any of the volunteer roles or just questions in general, I'm glad to reach out. And then if you want to have a one-on-one, shoot me an email and we will figure it out when it comes to the scheduling. I do have a Calendly link, but the Calendly is not foolproof. So we will figure it out. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to thank y'all for joining me today. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday and your week.
Thank you. Same to you. I hope you feel better soon and
Thank
get some
you.
rest.
I will. I will.
And nice meeting you, Dana.
Likewise, thank you.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Mm.
Bye-bye.